Okay, awesome. Thank you everyone for joining. It's really good to see people from all over the country. Welcome to today's webinar for What's New for Canada History Places Day in 2020. My name is Vanessa Arsenault. I'm the Communications Manager at the National Trust for Canada. If you're joining today, I assume that you have a little bit of an idea of what History Places Day is. So it's a national celebration. It's hosted on the Saturday after Canada Day, and History Places Day is there to shine a spotlight on history places from coast to coast to coast. The tagline for the event is "Every Place a Story," because that's how our history places come alive for Canadians. The program is hosted by the National Trust for Canada and supported in part by Parks Canada Agency. And this year, History Places Day is celebrating its 4th year, and we are conscious that the conditions are a little bit different. Many history places will likely be closed to the public for a good part of the summer or under certain restrictions, but we did not want to let that get in the way of celebrating. So that's why today we reunited you to share with you our new features that will allow places and visitors to celebrate virtually or while social distancing. We also acknowledge that this is new territory for many of us, going virtual, organizing online events, and we're still adjusting to this new reality. So we really wanted to make sure that you feel supported, and we wanted to provide an occasion for you to ask your questions about how we can still make the best out of Canada History Places Day. So I'm just going to take a moment to walk you through some of the technical features for today's webinar. So you can note down below that you have the chat box if you haven't used it already. You also have Q&A's features that can be accessed in the drop-down menu at the top left corner of your screen. You can also use chat feature to share comments, any ideas with the group, or let us know that you are experiencing technical difficulties. You can also use the Q&A feature to log questions for your presenters today. However, we will leave questions until the end of the session for open forum section. So make sure that you stay tuned till the end. And we will also probably be able to take some questions for you to speak to us. If you want to speak rather than write your question, you'll be able to use the feature to raise your hand, and we will unmute you so that you can share your question with us. Also, rest assured that we will be sending you the slides and the replay of today's webinar, so don't feel like you have to note everything down right now. You can simply just enjoy and be present with us. So before we get started, let me just tell you a little bit more about our organization. Here, there you go. So the National Trust for Canada is a national charitable not-for-profit organization that leads and inspires action for places that matter. We have a long track record of working with communities to save and renew historic places, and we have a team that's passionate about helping you succeed. As a National Trust, we are on a mission to bring heritage to life in more ways than one. We get people excited about places that matter, places that connect us to our roots and improve quality of life. We provide tools to save and renew historic places and a treasure trove of destinations to visit and discover. You can learn more about our programs and the benefits of becoming a member at nationaltrustcanada.ca. It's a pleasure for me to introduce you to my colleagues who will be leading this webinar with me today. So first I have Sonia Krutragan, the Manager of Marketing and Digital Strategy. And we also have Eleanor Mecki, that is a Special Project Assistant for History Places Day. So Sonia, I will pass the baton to you for this next part.
Thanks, Vanessa. Before we dig into Historic Places Day details, I wanted to take a moment to talk about our current crisis with the COVID-19 and tell you what the National Trust is doing. The National Trust for Canada is working hard to help the heritage sector respond to COVID-19, and we are hosting bi-weekly Zoom calls to bring the sector together, to share updates, to ask questions, talk about relief measures, relevant resources, and we're communicating also through our newsletter and our website and social, if you follow those. One thing that we've done is we sent a letter to the government on behalf of the sector with over 20 provincial and territorial organizations who've signed on, encouraging the government to earmark stimulus funds for heritage projects. And we're working with our provincial heritage organizations to make as much noise as possible to ensure that provincial decisions about stimulus funding include investments in heritage places. So we do host these bi-weekly gatherings, and our next one is June 30th. It's here. You register online like you did for this webinar, and please consider joining then to ask your questions and hear about the latest news. On to Historic Places Day. So I wanted to start off to talk a little bit about where the day has been and how it was conceived. It was conceived actually in 2016, and it was with Parks Canada. This is possible through support with Parks Canada. And it was started actually, the first Historic Places Day was in 2017. So we're now in our 4th year. And it's been growing steadily. Last year we had over 557 historic places that participated. We had 3.4 million impressions through media, 1.4 million Canadians who were reached through social media. And we do a survey at the end and we ask the question, would you participate again? And survey respondents say 91% would respond again. These numbers have been growing over the last few years. So if we look at the number about impressions, it started at 1 million in 2017. Then it grew to 2 million in 2018. We're at 3.4 million last year. And hopefully with your help and with everybody contributing, we'll be able to grow even more this year. So next slide. I wanted to share a little bit, actually, a lot of the celebration happens, or the communication happens through social media channels. And this is just a sampling of some of the tweets and posts that happened last year. And you can see it's a variety of people who share in the celebration of this day. So Parks Canada does tweets and shares through several of their different channels. There are ministers who take part in celebrating and commenting. We also engage social media influencers who help in bringing the story to their audience. And this year we have engaged a PR firm who is going to help us with media and communication, especially this year since it's very touchy and interesting. And there you see a great family photo. So traditionally it's a lot of families out there enjoying your heritage places. Oh, I didn't show, I should have shown a tweet because it's all the heritage places like you, historic places that share the message. Sorry, a little side note, but you're a big part of all of it and communicating and getting the news out there. So next slide. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's different this year because there are quite a few different things. So one, usually we do a run-up to try and create noise before it's hosted on the weekend after the July 1st weekend on that Saturday. So this year, that day is July 4th. And because of COVID-19 and changes and pivoting and trying to figure out what we're going to do, this year it's starting on July 4th and then running through till the end of August. So there's going to be, we have additional funding for Parks Canada to continue communicating about historic places throughout the summer. And we've made some changes to the website, and we're still busy making changes to the website. So the first thing is for the selfie contest, because we're encouraging people to be able to take digital selfies in case they can't visit your historic places. It depends by province what the rules are. So Eleanor is going to dig more into it a little bit. That's one of the changes. So for the month of July, we're hosting the selfie contest, not just on one day, but for the whole month of July, we're encouraging people to take selfies. And as I said, Eleanor will talk more about that. And another feature we're launching is in August, and it's a new section for the website that's going to be profiling trips, or we're trying to figure out the name actually. So we're calling it Online Adventures, where you can feature several different historic places within one storyline. And that's going to be launched in August. And we're going to be launching it with some famous Canadians and also everybody. We're going to encourage all Canadians to upload their own stories, so user-generated content, to create some interest in historic places and how to link them together within one storyline. As I said, we're working with social media influencers for this year, as well as a PR firm, and we're encouraging, we have had an events section of the website, and we're encouraging everybody to post virtual events all summer long, and we will be sharing those to a national audience, and which is interesting this year because the national audience will have interest in all the different historic places across Canada. So that's it for the intro.
Okay, awesome. And next, Eleanor, did you want to jump ahead and talk about the selfie contest?
Yeah, for sure. So hi guys, I'm Eleanor. Thanks for joining us today. And I'll be walking you through the selfie contest. So if you've participated with us in the past, you'll see that some of the rules are actually the same. The only thing that's changing really is the way that you will be taking selfies and the way that you'll be encouraging people to go online to take those selfies. So with the rules, we are asking people to share their creative selfies on Instagram and Twitter or on Facebook. They'll be using the hashtag Historic Places Day, and they'll tag the participating historic place, so that's you guys, and then they'll also be tagging and following the National Trust. So for the difference here, we have the button that you'll see in the middle. We'll actually be having the application on your place page. So whenever someone would like to take a selfie, they can go on to the places page and they'll click take a selfie, and they'll see a range of images that you will have provided. And it will be a fun way to have kind of these creative selfies being created. So everybody can kind of pick and choose what picture of themselves that they would add. There could be a family photo, and essentially what it would do is take your historic place image, and they would have kind of their bodies in front of it and allow themselves to crop their images into that background photo. So it's a fun way to have them virtually experience your spaces and just to kind of see this selfie in a new light. So again, this is happening all throughout July. And the way that you guys would benefit from this would be that you could engage with your audience to encourage them to take these selfies. You could rally this kind of team around taking all the selfies online, because what will happen is that whoever is the lucky person who wins the contest, they will receive a $1,000 cash prize, but the historic place that they tagged in their post will also receive a $1,000 cash prize. So if you're encouraging people to take selfies and to tag your historic place, you will ultimately benefit from their win as well. So it's a great way to share in the fun and to share in the win. And if you're at all needing any kind of inspiration, we actually have an article that's up right now that you can access under the What's New tab on our website. And it's just a few fun ways to kind of learn how to take these virtual selfies and make them your own and post them. So the next one, thanks. So events. Sonia also mentioned that we have events happening virtually this year. So we're hoping to find some historic places to celebrate the launch with us. If you're open to putting something virtual online for Saturday, July 4th, that would be awesome. If you want to get in contact with any of us to figure out how to put that up on the website, we would be happy to help you out with that. So yeah, July 4th is launch date. We would love to have you hosting a virtual event. but what does that maybe look like? It might look different for a few of you who are experiencing reopening phases, or if you are planning on being closed for that date or throughout the summer, that's okay. There's many ways to participate. So we have some examples here. We have the Mackin House over in BC. They are actually going through a reopening phase. So they'll be hosting a virtual as well as a in-person event with social distancing measures in place. So then there's also kind of examples of what you might be able to do with a virtual event. You could do anything from an interview with a maintenance worker. That's always something that people are looking for, something behind the scenes, exclusive access that people are interested in learning more about. We also have an example from Black Creek Pioneer Village, where they did a little interview with their gardener. And these things can be, 7 minutes long, even less, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be like a full hour presentation, just something to engage with your audience. It's fun and relatively easy to do, and low impact as well. For the next slide. Here I just wanted to show a little bit of the kind of popular video hosting and sharing platforms that are out there right now. It depends on where your largest audience would be. Wherever that may be for you, you can pick and choose kind of where you would like to host your event. So there's Instagram Live, that's very popular right now, Facebook Live. But then if you don't want to do a live hosting of an event, there's also YouTube as well as Instagram TV. So those you could pre-record something on your phone, doesn't have to be on a camera or anything like that. You could upload it to those platforms, and it's a relatively easy and kind of fun way to get engaged with your audience. And if you're hoping to reach a younger audience, we actually have a millennial advisory group this year, and we're hosting a webinar on next Tuesday, June 23rd. So we'll be having some more kind of ideas for you about virtual events and how to market those events based on what kind of social media presence you might have. And we'll also be taking questions there too. So look forward to that if you'd like to join us there. And yeah, just kind of low impact things. If you're looking for more inspiration, there's definitely, I would say if you're looking kind of for something on Instagram, if you don't want to do a video or if that's not within your capacity, there's always things like you could upload a coloring kind of collection, or you could post a photo of something that's within your collection, like an item of clothing or a worker's tool, and talk about what that means for your place or what that means for the history of your place. So lots of fun ways to get involved. And hopefully if you have any questions, you can ask them at the end of this. Thanks.
Awesome, thank you, Eleanor. So yeah, this is a very short presentation, but it's really an opportunity for us to show you what we've been preparing for this year Canada History Places Day. And since we're, learning a lot and going online and then seeing where we're going from there, we wanted to provide you just more time for you to ask your questions and address your questions, concerns. Maybe you're not sure about where to start. Maybe you just are not sure how to host lives online, how to really use social media for your history place, how to host online events. So we really would like to open the floor for you to ask any questions or maybe share if you are organizing something. I see here Colony of Avalon in Fairyland, Newfoundland is going to launch this year's Great Colonial Cook-Off on July 4th. Awesome. Yeah, so there's definitely a few places that have started with organizing some things, which I think is really awesome to see, like everyone being so creative. But yeah, so as we talked about this year, History Places Day will not be only July 4th, but it will really be starting launching July 4th and be open till the end of August. So it's really giving you more time as well to run a campaign, or if there's something like that that you're looking to do. Yeah, and now we'll be ready to just read and answer your questions in just a moment. So I'll invite you to type them in the Q&As, or maybe raise your hand, or just let us know in the chat box if there's anything that you would like to share or ask. We will answer your questions in just a moment. Maybe you want to know more about how to use social media, about organizing online events, or on anything else that was mentioned today that you would like a little bit more details about. And now is your time to speak up and ask your questions about the different kinds of celebrations for Historic Places Day. I will give you a few moments to type in your questions. And yeah, so while you do that, let me just take this time to tell you a little bit more about the services and programs of the National Trust. So as mentioned before, the Trust really offers many services, programs, and benefits across the country. We also offer some benefits for our members. So when you do become a member, you participate in strengthening the national voice of the heritage movement and demonstrate that historic places do matter. When you become a member, you can benefit from a 30% discount if you're using the new member code. And while becoming a member, you also get the National Trust magazine Locale. We have a print issue, we have online issues now this year. You also get discounts on the National Trust Conference, and you can also get access to heritage destinations in Canada and abroad, which is really nice. Also, we also have a program called Regeneration Works. It's a one-stop stop for tools, training, and coaching opportunities to help you improve the vitality of your heritage place. This program is designed to help passionate and dedicated people like you, volunteers, advocates, and organization staff working hard on the ground to save and renew a heritage place. We know that finding funding and coming up with new ways to generate revenue is often the key challenge facing volunteers and organizations working to keep a heritage place alive. That's why we have tools to help you improve your bottom line. So you can visit our website to access tip sheets on a range of topics from grant writing to sponsorship. And you can get inspired with the case studies and small shop fundraising or donor appeals. And you can register for free webinars like this one. We also have a variety of tools that are available on the Historic Places Day website, which are also free to download. We have social media and promotions toolkit, videos, a poster, and mobile-friendly website that provides the places, events, and contests we run for the program. The tools are still being developed and will be available for download from the website very soon. And historic places should register on the website to be listed and thereby found on by Canadians across the country. So if you haven't done that yet, you can go on the website to register your site for participating in the day. All right, I see we have a few comments. Okay, I will now stop the screen share. Okay, so I see here, Erin D. Richard, will the Take a Selfie button be available on our site listing page starting July 4th? So yes, it will be available by then. It's currently being designed on the website. And basically when people will visit your page with your site, they will see the button Take a Selfie directly in there, and it will be ready for July 4th.
Vanessa, I was thinking maybe because there's another question about the selfie contest.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't know if my sound is weird. I can show you the development site. Maybe I'll share this screen so we can look at it.
Yeah, that could be a good idea to do that. Maybe while you put this up, we can see if there's any questions.
So if everybody can see my screen, it's for places that are participating. And if you click on the site, there's a button on it that says Take a Selfie. And it goes through, you upload a photo of yourself that you can modify and see there's two different ways that you can have it cut out the background. The automatic one is easiest. So it'll cut out the background and put my image. Then you can choose which backdrop you want to use. So it'll give you, I guess I didn't choose the right one. It'll give you the option of all the images that are uploaded for that particular site. You can go through all of them. So you might want to think about that. You can upload some other pictures that people could use. And then it has sort of these normal, you can resize it, sorry. And then with this, you can have it turn, so this has normal sort of cropping systems. And then you can, we're still working on the last little bits about being able to share it automatically with your social media channels or be able to download it and then post it on your own channels. But so that kind of explains how it is going to be on each place that says they're participating in Historic Places Day, and it'll use the pictures that are already on the website to be able to post selfies.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia, for showing that. I was just reading the questions. There's a question in the chat that says about the selfie contest. When are you expecting places to send in pictures that will be used as backdrops? I believe we will launch the selfie contest on July 4th. So we encourage the places to have their pictures already submitted by then on the website so that people can go in and use those pictures that are there. But if you add some of them later, they'll basically just get added on that. So you can still change and add more later. There's a question here, just to clarify, participating sites must host an event of some sort during the summer, or is it possible to just promote the selfie contest online adventures while still being a participating site? So it's not mandatory for you to host an event. It's just we really encourage you to host an event because it's going to be attracting visitors to go visit your site virtually. And it's just dragging attention around your site, but it's not mandatory. You can definitely just promote the selfie contest and online adventures. And we do tons of promotions for History Places Day all over the country, so you might still get some attraction even if you're not hosting an event. Don't know if you want to take another question, Sonia?
Well, there's another question here about where or who do we send site photos into. So just to be clear, it's part of your registration for the event, and it's using the photos that you use as your listing. So the one top photo and any additional photos people will be able to use to take digital selfies. And if you need help figuring out registration, we're here for you. There, at the end of this webinar, we'll show you the Historic Places Day email that you can use, or just give us a call.
For here, is there an approximate timeline for when we can learn more about the online adventure campaign? Sonia, can you explain?
Yeah, I'll try and answer that. So it's still in development. We're still figuring out, like I was saying, we're trying to decide on the name of the feature even. So it's launching August 1st. We'll have additional details nailed probably at least 2 weeks before the launch of it. And then we'll also have details of the features that we have. We'll be working in the next month, starting in July after the launch of Historic Places Day. Figuring out the stories and the details so that we can share it with everyone to promote.
Yeah, okay. Can we still promote Canada Historic Places Day during our other virtual events, for example, Canada Day virtual events? So I'm not sure if you mean by that you want to promote Canada Historic Places Day in your own Canada Day event. So if that's the case, I would say, yes, absolutely. Sonia?
Sorry, I was reading a question.
Uh, yeah, they're just asking if they can promote Canada History Places Day and other virtual events. I would say yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Then
There's the one about Heritage BC and involving everybody.
in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat.
Here in BC, we are partnered with Heritage BC and the Ministry of Tourism and Heritage trying. So we have asked historic places to ask their MLAs and MPs to lead the selfie campaign. Our board of directors, and also we are planning to ask the Ministry of Tourism to do a press launch for Historic Places Day at one of the sites. Our phase three reopening for travel within BC will be announced next week. So we are hoping this is a partnership moment with Heritage and local tourism. That's really awesome. We encourage all the sites to have the MPs and MLAs lead the way on this to encourage history at home backyard tourism. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. It definitely is a time that people will not be traveling abroad. They're going to be doing stay-at-home vacations, but everybody's desperate to still be doing some lighter stuff, some entertainment, some learning, some finding out some interesting stories about Canada and our history through our historic places. So I think there's a hungry audience out there. If we can give them some events and some love, we'll be able to get some attention.
Yeah, and also, the opportunity this year, since we're all online, even though places are like most of them are closed, or we can't travel at the moment, it's still a very good opportunity for you if your site is somewhere else in Canada. You can still attract people from all over the country right now, since it's all online. So you can use that to your advantage to say, even if you're a site in BC and you're attracting people from Nova Scotia or from Manitoba or from Ontario that would usually not see your site, then it's definitely a good opportunity to say, hey, if you can't come in person, at least come check us out online. So that's something that's really awesome that we have the opportunity to do this year, is that we're not bound by the location.
Vanessa, there's a question here about we have prizes donated in BC for BC sites, and can we help facilitate drawing the winners just for historic sites in BC? What do you think?
That's a good question. I think we usually keep track on who's participating in Historic Places Day. I think if we have more details and we chat with you directly, Laura, I think that would be something that we could see how we could help out. But I think I'm pretty sure there would be a way for us to do that.
Yeah, because we're keeping track of all the selfies, and we are running this year a prize giveaway for the month of July as well, asking people to submit stories of historic places that they love and the picture and why they love them. So, sorry, we forgot to mention that. But it's our prize giveaway for the month of July, and in either of those, we could share with whoever's interested provincial entries. I think that's possible. But so let's talk about it and see how we could make that work.
Yeah, because we definitely keep track on who's participating and from where they are. So if we decided that we wanted to draw only in BC, that's something that I believe would be possible.
I think, Laura, you just answered that you have hotels and some other places that want to tie in. I think that would be fantastic. It is a tourism location tie-in that's really interesting for this occasion, and it's tricky this year because hotels are sort of difficult, but if they are willing to engage, that's great.
Yeah. I would suggest, I know some people in the chat were asking about how to register. So I'm curious if Eleanor, you would like to expand a little bit on how sites can use the website and register, and how will it work for them?
Yeah, for sure. So if you go onto our website, there will be a registration area that you can click on. And essentially what you have to provide us with is an email that we can contact you at, and it will go through kind of a process of you going into our WordPress site. So it's easy enough. I don't know if maybe should we share what it looks like?
Sure.
Yeah, may as well. Just so that if there's people hoping to participate, then we can show you what it would be like. So yeah, thankfully it's an easy process. This is what it looks like when you log in. I can share. Alrighty. So it's a WordPress site. If none of you have used it before, don't worry. Keep it in English if that's your preference. You have the language toggle up top. Really what you guys will be looking at is your places. So on the left hand,
Eleanor, hang on. I think the registration side looks maybe a little different, because it doesn't look like a they can't see the back end on the site itself.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I can log in. It's saying I don't have my password.
Shoot. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't actually look like that. It looks like you can see all the sites that are registered under your name, and you can opt in for this year, and you can edit the location. It just has a friendlier.
It's even easier. Even easier than what we've shown.
Yes. Oh, okay. Let me see. I'll share my screen. So add a place. This is actually my management screen, and it showed all the places that I have so far, and this is the form that you'll fill in. It doesn't look quite as scary. But most of this is required with your name, what type of place it is, address, phone number, email, so we can contact you, as many social media channels as you have, because it's a great way for people follow different channels. It depends how they communicate. So if you have all of them, please put them all in. We use a short description, amenities that you have, and this is where you can upload the photos that people will be using for their digital selfies. And if I go back, after you've added a place, you need to register first, and then you can add an event. So this place shows all of the places that are under my registration, and there's a little box here that says opt in for this year. It's that easy to say that you want to participate in Historic Places Day this year. And then I don't currently have any events, but you can add events through the system. And it's the same kind of form saying what is the name of the event, and then you choose where your event is being hosted. If it's virtual, but you're still going to host the name of the place, and the dates, and the description, and who is it for, and as well as an image for the place itself. For the event. There you go. So if anybody has any questions about doing the registration and get a little frustrated, please feel free to reach out, because we're happy to help.
Yeah, and one last thing that I'll say as well is, if you are, organizing an event or participating in Historic Places Day, and you're using social media to do so, please use the hashtag and tag us on that platform that you're using, so that we know, because we love featuring you, we love sharing what you're doing, and we love seeing what everyone is doing. So please make sure that you tag us and use the hashtag so that we can share, retweet, like, comment. We love seeing what you're up to.
We look forward to seeing the events and the creative selfies. I think every year everybody puts a few selfies out there and has fun with it. So hopefully with more time this year, we'll get some really interesting things out there to share.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Well, I'll just share my screen one more time. So here you have the details of just the email that you can reach out to if you have any questions. This is the History Places Day email. So please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or anything else that you would like to talk about. You can reach out. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. It was really great to see everyone participating and then sharing what they're up to. And we look forward to seeing you participate in History Places Day.
It should be fun with more time this year. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for coming. Sorry.